Hi, I'm Tamar from the marketing unit at Match B2B. Match B2B helps Israeli companies grow internationally by building smart, lean, and practical B2B marketing and sales engines, even without large teams or budgets. In this series, I'll take you through the exact steps that small and medium-sized B2B companies, especially Israeli companies working internationally, need in order to build an effective modern marketing and sales engine. My focus is on the customer journey in the B2B world. Not just the theory, but how people actually discover, trust, and buy from you, step by step. Let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to episode 2 of Match Me to Be Business. If you're here, you probably already know it's not enough to have a good product. You need to explain it in a way that makes people stop, listen, and say, yes, that's for me. That's what positioning is about. It's the foundation for everything that comes next. Your content, your sales pitch, your website, even your investor deck. And yet, most companies, especially small and growing Israeli B2B companies, struggle with it. They either sound too generic, or too technical, or too focused on features and not enough on value. Let's fix that. Let's begin with a simple truth. People don't buy what you do. They buy what they understand and what they believe will help them win. Positioning is not a slogan. It's the story that makes your product relevant. And in B2B, relevance is everything. So, what are we positioning? We are positioning your company in the mind of a very specific person, your ideal customer. This means you must answer 3 questions clearly. Who are you for? What problem do you solve? And how are you different from the alternatives? Let's break that down. Question 1. Who are you for? This is not just a title. It's a persona. A real human being with goals, frustrations, and a job to do. They are not just a VP of something. They are someone under pressure, trying to prove something, trying to deliver. So be specific. Are you for DevOps leaders in growth stage companies? Are you for CFOs in logistics tech? Are you for HR teams in manufacturing? Define them. Make them real. Now question 2. What problem do you solve? This is where most founders talk about features. But your buyer doesn't care about your features until they believe you understand their pain. You must speak the language of the problem. Not just, we optimize cloud costs, but you're burning money on your AWS bill and you don't know where it's going. If your buyer hears their own frustration in your words, they will keep listening. And if they don't, they'll move on. And now the third question, how are you different? Here's the trick. You don't have to be the only one. You just have to be different in a way that matters to your customer. Maybe you're faster. Maybe you're easier to deploy. Maybe your team used to be on the other side of the problem. Maybe you integrate where others don't. Positioning is about choosing what not to say. If you try to sound like everyone, you'll be ignored like everyone. Let's make it practical now. Here is a simple framework to use. It's called They Say, We Say, So We Do. First, what does the industry say? What are the myths, the broken promises, the outdated assumptions? Then, what do you say in contrast? This is your point of view, your thesis, your belief. And then, what do you do as a result of that belief? That's your product. That's your service. That's your way of solving it. This is how you move from features to a strategic narrative. It gives context. It gives meaning. Let's take a real example from Israel. SimilarWeb started as a tool for traffic estimation. There were others in the space. They had competition. But instead of just saying, we show you web analytics, they shifted the story. They said, you can't make smart decisions without knowing your competitors' traffic, audience, and trends. They positioned themselves not as a tool, but as a market intelligence platform. That shift opened doors to enterprise buyers and made them a category leader. This is the power of narrative. It doesn't describe, it positions. Now let's talk about testing. You don't need a big campaign to know if your positioning works. You can test it this week. Here's how. Write one sentence that describes who you are, who you serve, and what makes you different. Then send it to 5 people, investors, clients, advisors, and ask, do you get it? Would you keep reading? Or post a short version on LinkedIn and see who engages. Positioning is not something you do once, it's something you refine. Your clarity grows with your company. By the end of this episode, I want you to have two things. One, a single slide that tells your positioning story. That slide should answer who we are for, what problem we solve, and what makes us different. And two, three real personas, not just job titles, but real buyer types, with a short description of their role, goals, and key frustration. Keep it simple. Use first names, like Sarah, VP Marketing, launching 3 products this year, drowning in data, and no time for deep analysis. Personas don't need to be perfect. They need to feel real enough that your content and outreach speak directly to them. In the next episode, we'll build your content engine. You'll learn how to take the positioning you've defined and turn it into consistent, trust-building content. Even if you don't have a content team, even if you only have 2 hours a week. But before that, your homework. Write your 1-slide positioning story, create your 3 personas, and test your message with 5 people this week. You'll be surprised how much clarity comes just from saying it out loud. If you'd like to ask questions, share your thoughts, or get help applying what we talked about, you're welcome to reach out. You can schedule a one-on-one meeting using the link below or send us an email. Both the link and the email are right here under the video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next lesson.